Well, Beijing is reportedly downplaying President Trump's claim that China wants to resume trade talks. Rebecca Walsler, Walsler Wealth Management CEO, is here. Rebecca, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren.
So overnight, we saw optimism turn into skepticism. How do investors play a market that is completely headline-driven?
Well, I think you have to be in it for the long game, right? Or at least a longer game than day to day and tweet to tweet, because this is a long strategy play. This is not a short-term strategy. This is a long haul. And so if we're going to be going tweet to tweet, call to call, we're going to have volatility, and investors don't like that.
Yeah, but it has severe consequences. Morgan Stanley is warning of a global recession if the U.S. raises the tariffs on Chinese imports to 25% and China retaliates. I mean, that's a big deal, a global recession.
Of course. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I mean, this is going to be painful. I mean, this is definitely not something that is easy to do, to unwind to an extent the U.S.'s dependence on Chinese supplying our Walmart and our Targets and all of our, basically our cheap goods is very painful, Lauren. It's going to have an impact, yes.
Yeah, and will it impact consumers? Because the dialogue that we've gone with, and quite frankly, the dialogue we've seen in the data is that the consumer remains strong. We get a consumer confidence number this morning. Do you expect the consumer to start to get a little bit nervous and pull back?
Yeah, I think we're going to probably see a number that's more along the lines of June, where trade was more of an impact than, the rebound in July. We had obviously the highest numbers in July year to date. So I expect that we'll see a little bit more volatility because we have had this month pretty much dominated by, a tit for tat back and forth between us and China.
So let's say the consumer does pull back, and then you have those big name momentum technology stocks, the so-called FANG trade. They're 20% of the broader market. They've pulled back in the past year. So if they're not fueling gains or, quite frankly, losses recently, what's the new trade?
Lauren, that remains to be seen, right? There's always something that's going to come out. It's just like the old days. We had the four Microsoft, Oracle, Intel, and then obviously FANG stocks now have been the bet for the last. And they don't trade unilaterally anymore. It used to be a block, that we sort of all relied on. But they each have their own issues that they are dealing with, and so they're not moving unilaterally as a block anymore, and each of them have their own issues. Obviously, Facebook with privacy, Google with competition and data privacy and censorship. Believe it or not, you've got Amazon with Walmart and Target doing so well with supply chain and getting out there and expanding their distribution, and Netflix losing U.S. subscribers for the first time. So we've got a lot of issues on each one at each level.
Yes or no, Rebecca? This is the worst August for the Dow Jones in 8 years. Is it a time to buy, or you say stay away?
Well, if you are in it for the short game, we're going to have a lot of volatility. So, investors make money on volatility, the long term. But long term, it's going to be painful, and we're going to have to deal with this China, and we really have to play a long game.
Rebecca, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lauren.